Former President Barack Obama spoke over the weekend, and he made a comparison that I think is extraordinarily apt, which is that if he had done even a fraction of the things that Donald Trump has been doing, the amount of apoplexy and panic that you would be hearing and seeing from right-wing media would be absolutely off the charts. And to much of what is going on right now, we are hearing not a peep from right-wing media. Occasionally, I mean, listen, Maria Bartiromo said the tariffs are a debacle, but big picture, the due process-free deportations and all of it, if any fraction of this were done, for example, by Barack Obama, these people would be losing their minds. Let's hear former President Obama lay it out, and I want to talk about it.
Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening. Imagine if I'd said to law firms that were representing parties that were upset with policies my administration had initiated, that you will not be allowed into government buildings. We will punish you economically for dissenting from the Affordable Care Act or the Iran deal. We will ferret out students who protest against my policies. It's unimaginable that the same parties that are silent now would have tolerated behavior like that from me or a whole bunch of my predecessors. So, and I say this not on a partisan basis. This has to do with something more precious, which is, who are we as a country and what values do we stand for?
That last question, what are the values we stand for? That's really a central question to this entire thing. And of course, I laid out some of my values last week in a segment, especially as we have a lot of new viewers now because of the book and different things, just seeing a lot of growth. I laid out my values, but more explicitly how they relate to policy. One of the problems, and of course, President Obama is correct about what are our values. Do we value free speech or don't we? One of the problems, as I write about in the book, is that their stated values don't really mean anything to them at the end of the day. And so this has a twofold impact, or it's sort of meaningful to think about for two different reasons. Number one, is it really worth engaging in these abstractions about values and philosophy when it's worth nothing? It's worth as much as we pay to hear it from them, that they value liberty and they value lack of regulation, and they abandon every single one of those values as soon as it's inconvenient. We've seen them abandon every one of the values just in the last 2 months, as it's become antithetical to the way that Donald Trump is actually governing. So number one, all of the discussions about my first principles and values and philosophy, these people don't really care about that stuff. It's a way to get us away from actually dealing in practical and tangible policy ways with what's going on and the problems we want to fix. But number two, it is, of course, the double standard. And as President Obama correctly points out, if he had done even a fraction of this stuff, they would be calling for his head. They would be saying, use the 25th Amendment to remove him from power and all of it. So what utility does this have to us? Well, first of all, let's stop wasting time engaging with what they say, and let's really engage with what they do. Oh, Trump would. I mean, our next example of Ben Shapiro, by the way, Shapiro's a guy who for a year was saying, I don't think Trump's really going to. Says a lot of things, but it doesn't mean he does them. And now Ben Shapiro has turned against the tariffs because Trump is doing it. So let's engage with what they do. And importantly, let's not allow abstract conversations to supplant dealing in practical policy terms with what's going on. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.